Myself Rajakumar, Assistant Professor, Department of Mechanical Engineering, Rohini College of Engineering and Technology. In this video lecture, we are going to discuss about the basic thermodynamics concept. Course outcome. Students can able to understand and explain the basic concept and applications of first law of thermodynamics. Course outcome. These are the basic concept in the thermodynamics system. Thermodynamics is what's the meaning of thermodynamics? So thermodynamics is an axiomatic science deals with the relation among heat, work and properties of system which are in equilibrium. It describes state and changes in state of physical system. Thermodynamics, these are the different types of thermodynamic system. Before that, we should know what's the meaning of system and surrounding and boundary. System is nothing but thermodynamic system is defined as a quantity of matter or a region in space which selected for the study. This is system. The surrounding means the mass or region outside the system is called surrounding. Then boundary is the real or imaginary surface which separate the system and surrounding is called boundary. The real or imaginary surface. The boundary is the imaginary surface. Okay, maybe it may be imaginary or real. We separate the system and surrounding is called boundary. Then types of thermodynamic system. The three system is there. One is open system and closed system and isolated system. So first open system means a system in which the transfer of both mass and energy take place is called as open system. The system is also known as control volume. For example, the boiling of water in an open vessel is an example of open system, because the water and heat energy both enters and leave the boundary of the vessel. Then it is a open system. A closed system means a system in which the transfer of heat but not mass can take place across the boundary is called a closed system. The mass inside the closed system remains constant. For example, boiling of water in a closed vessel, since the water is boiled in closed vessel, so the mass of water cannot escape out of the boundary of the system, but heat energy continuously entering and leaving the boundary of vessel. It is an example of closed system. Then isolated system means a system in which the transfer of mass and energy cannot take place is called an isolated system. For example, tea present in a thermo flask. In this heat and the mass of the tea cannot cross the boundary of the thermo flask. As the thermo flask is an example for the isolated system. Then control volume. Control volume is it's a fixed volume. These types of system is usually referred to as open system or a control volume. So mass transfer can take place across control volume. So energy transfer may also occur into or out of the system. The mass of control volume may or may not be fixed. The example is a heat exchanger. That means the fluid enters and leave the system continuously with the transfer of heat across the system boundary. Okay, these are the basic principle in the control volume. That is, you can see this diagram: energy level in and out, and mass in and out. This is the control volumes. We have fixed in some boundaries. Okay. Then zeroth law. Zeroth law is nothing but the thermodynamics, the basic one of the law. When the two systems are in the thermal equilibrium, then that the third system also in the thermal equilibrium. So example, the principle of the thermodynamic system is in equilibrium with each other. That means if an object with a higher temperature comes in contact with an object of lower temperature, it will transfer heat to the lower temperature object. The object will approach the same temperature and in the absence of loss to other object. they will be maintain the single constant temperature. Therefore, thermal equilibrium is obtained. You can see this image. If object A and C are in thermal equilibrium with B, then object A is in thermal equilibrium with object C. Practically, this means all three objects are at the same temperature, and it forms the basic comparison of temperature. If A equal to B and B equal to C, then A equal to Z. Then first law of thermodynamics. The first law of thermodynamics, also known as the law of conservation of energy, state that the energy can neither be created nor destroyed, but it can be changed from one form to another form. This is the first law. That is the equation for the first law of thermodynamics equal to dq equal to dw plus delta U. Okay, this is the first law of thermodynamics. So one model problem is there. Then a gas whose original pressure, volume and temperature were 140 kilonewton per meter square, 0.1 meter cube and 25 degrees centigrade respectively, compressed such that its new pressure is 700 kilonewton per meter square and its new temperature is 60 degrees centigrade. Determine the new volume of gas. So given data, they are giving the pressure. Initial pressure P1 equal to 140 kilonewton per meter square, initial volume V1 0.1 meter cube, initial temperature 21 degree. They are given in the temperature in degree we are converted into Kelvin. So adding plus 273, we get the 298 Kelvin. Then pressure, final pressure they are given P2 equal to 700 kilonewton per meter square, and temperature, final temperature T2 equal to 60 degree, convert into Kelvin 333 Kelvin. They are find out the final volume. So we know the characteristic gas equation P1 V1 by T1 equal to P2 V2. So all the value we know. From this equation we find out the final volume. Then second problem, a gas cylinder has got a volume of 30 liters and indicate a pressure of 80 Newton per centimeter square and temperature 30 degrees centigrade. Find out the weight of gas if the value of gas constant of particular gas is 270 joules per kilogram Kelvin. They are given the data's volume in the liters, we are converted into meter cube. So divided by 1000. Then they are given the pressure 80 Newton per centimeter square. We have to convert it into kilonewton per meter square. So then kilonewton per meter square, we have to convert into kilonewton per meter square. Temperature they are given 30 degree, convert into Kelvin, and real constant, gas real constant 270 joules per kilogram Kelvin. We converted into kilojoule. So divided by 1000, we got the value in kilojoule per kilogram Kelvin. They find out, they are asking about the weight. So we know the gas equation PV equal to MRT. From this equation we got the value of mass value. So mass value, so we get the weight equal to mass into the specific gravity. So we get the value, W value we got. Okay. Thank you.